We're doing a night art stream because bro said he wasn't going to be on tonight. Double check everything's working. Got the right mic on this time. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm pretty sure that we accidentally were muted for the end of this morning stream. Um, Sorry. But anyway, so okay, that's up. All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're cooking. So here's the plan. I feel like I need to just not draw ahead. So I think what I'm gonna do is draw some knives. And the reason for that is I didn't plan for this, but I wanted to do this. So I didn't plan for like an art stream tonight, so I didn't really like pick out anything. So our other option is to browse Twitter and probably what even is this? Oh, body shapes. Damn, I wanted to do that. Anyway, that was an option. Maybe we'll do that at some point. But I think I'm gonna draw some knives, and that's because the next thing I would like to work on is actually hair, and I just didn't prepare anything for that. Can you get off my screen, please? Whatever that is. Um, but I did think about it, and I actually think this might help me with some of my problems because these are very simple a lot of the times, right? I do have some more complicated ones, but right, they're how do I put this? They're generally like a handful of shapes together that I should be able to hopefully pull off. And most of the ones I've picked, well, we can skip that one, have somewhat complicated blade shapes, right? They're generally clip points or bowies, which is just like a trailing point clip. But actually, I feel like most people know what a bowie is. It's a very famous knife type. But this is a clip point, um, which I guess a bowie is a type of that mixed with a trailing point, right? It just kind of has an upswept bit at the top. Um, but they're generally like one or two shapes here, one or two shapes here, right? One solid color or like a couple of colors. I do have ones that aren't quite that simple, but like I'm going to try and go for stuff that simple. This is a particularly small knife. Um, but I'm hoping that, believe it or not, this helps me with like some of the perspective stuff as well as like shape, right? Like if we try and draw the lanyard on this one, maybe we can learn how to draw like tubes, I guess. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. This is fuck, what is this called? Auxiliary manufacturing's I don't know. It has a name, I think. It's like a production line knife. I think they're made in the USA though, but I don't know the production knife. It's a very small knife. Anyway, my hope here is, like I said, to try and get some of the perspective change stuff. So if you see this has, it's why I actually picked mostly clip points. This has the false edge here. A lot of people call it a swedge. It's got, right, a different here, a different, this is like a saber grind basically. So like it comes down to a point and then a finer point, right? But it's like a bunch of changes in direction that I'm hoping will help me be able to portray the knife, but also I feel like it'll translate well to a lot of the things I feel like I'm having trouble with. And that is, for one, the proportions, right? If I get the proportions wrong, it's not going to look like this. But it's simple because it's, well, in theory, it's just a couple of lines, right? So it's like less I have to do to try and get, like, fucking up the whole head, right? I can't tell I fucked up the whole head until I'm done drawing like almost all of the head. And then I realize, fuck, this part's too big, this part was too small. And I had to zoom out to realize that and like look at it. Um, and when I do zoom out, a lot of times I misjudge it as well. So like, I feel like I could probably, I could probably just fucking draw this real quick, like as a very basic look. Hopefully anyway. So if I just do something along these lines, I should probably just take a picture of this, honestly. Right, this is obviously way too fucking big now that I'm looking at it. But this is the whole point. That's the whole point. That's the whole reason we're here. We only had to draw 3 lines to realize we're just not getting it. So if we change up, right? We shrink this up. Now we can adjust some things some more. I'm hoping this comes off the way I'm hoping it's gonna come off. Um, Maybe it won't. That's okay too. But this is the goal for today, to try and get a couple of these down. And I think these also might, this sounds crazy, but I think these might actually help me with hair because it does actually get me some of the lines. I don't know. I feel like this is also just something for me, that's kind of like fun. And it's not just, we just did basically 2 weeks of skull and head. Let's just do something not that for a little bit. Even though realistically I should probably just not fucking stop. I gotta stop. I've had enough. Somebody's gotta stop me, man. Very sharp and dangerous. Actually, I'm pretty sure this one needs to be sharpened. It does. Definitely needs to be sharpened. Which kind of makes it more dangerous. So again, this will hopefully help me with proportion, right? Because this one in particular gets quite thin here, right? If I get this wrong, it's going to look goofy as fuck. So hopefully, we get it going. I don't know. I feel like something so I obviously got to address, I can't draw hair. I need to figure that out. I haven't found a guide that I feel like works for me. I see a lot of recommendation for like, you just draw out the shape and like then pick where it flows out from. And that's great. And then draw it as ribbons. That's great. I can't fucking draw a ribbon either. Okay? I can't fucking do it. I'm like, that's kind of still beyond me. And I don't know where to go from there. I guess maybe I do need to just spend more and more time on the what are those things called? The skulls. I don't really want to, but if there's no option, there's no option. Okay, so how do I do this? We gotta maybe do something like that. That's a bit much, a bit exaggerated. Do we feel like this is too much? It feels like it's somehow too much, but not enough. Like, it needs to come in more here. Like, faster. But, like, less back. You know? Maybe I should have started with just, like, a fucking straight line. Should have started with a fucking Tonto. Dude, what am I doing? Actually, I think the only fixed blade Tonto I own serrated. I think it is. No, wait, no, I have a charade one that I don't really use. I used it for a little bit. Charade kind of fell apart. I think they tried to make a comeback. I don't know how that really went. I guess not that well since I haven't really thought about them in a while. How do I do this? Is that... I feel like this comes to the end, right? So this terminates here. You see what I mean? Like up here it's like chamfered all around, but here it's like it just terminates. So I think we're good on that front. Sorry about hitting the mic there. This might be a hard line to pull off. It's actually... Yeah, that's coming in. Sorry, I keep fucking hitting the mic. Let's move you up. How's that? That better? Alright, can we pull this off? It's also just terminate. I think stopping there might have fucked me up. I think this also just terminates though. You autominated. Now I think we've messed up here. I think this kind of comes just like to a stop. I feel like actually it might even come up a little bit, huh? I don't know. What do we call this? Butterscotch? Caramel? Caramel? Sorry, caramel. I really should have remembered the name of this one. My defense, not every knife gets its own name. Sometimes they're just like a model number or just like whatever. What are we thinking? I'm thinking, you know, maybe we straighten out actually. So let's come from here. And kind of go like that. It feels like it's too much as part of my deal. You're here and we'll be lurking because it's 3:21 a.m. You have an alpaca farm? Okay. Well, thanks for being here. Thanks for lurking. Also, what do alpaca farms produce? Do people eat alpacas? Alpaca wool, I guess. Alpaca you a lunch. Thanks for being here. It is way too early in the morning, late at night. I don't know what's going on here. What time do you have to get up to work on an alpaca farm? You know what? You probably can't answer that because you're lurking. Am I stupid? Find out right now. The answer is absolutely. You should know this by now. Okay, let's draw the pin. I believe this is just like... I believe this is some sort of micarta, and this is probably either G10, or it actually could be micarta. Probably blue G10 if I had to guess, though. Actually, wait a minute. That texture could be micarta. You know, I should really know this. I paid for it. I know the steel. It's AEBL. I don't even think that's written on it, which is fucked. I guess I don't know this steel. You never know. They could be lying to me. I don't think they are, but they could be. AEBL is a fucking goated steel. Turns out actually this could be American ABL, but I think the company that owns the recipe is Austrian. Turns out they know what they're doing. Bro, just fuck that up 4 times in a row. Private family farm, they just keep them as pets. You walking them, feeding them, clean them up. Walk them like that. All right. You know what? That's interesting. It's actually super interesting. I feel like if I had a pet alpaca, I'd probably do all that myself because why the fuck do I own an alpaca if I'm not going to spend time with it? But hey, I'm not rich enough to own an alpaca farm, so maybe they just know something I don't. What am I saying maybe? They absolutely know something I don't. Where's my alpaca farm? If I knew something, I'd have an alpaca farm. That's all I'm saying. I feel like an alpaca, I mean, those are pretty big, right? That'd be scary. It's like, same deal with horses. I'm fucking terrified of horses. Get a horse the fuck away from me, bro. I have seen the video of a horse picking a dude up with his mouth. The horse bites the guy in his back, grabs him by the skin of his back, and just fucking eats him 15 feet. You cannot pay me to get that close to a horse like that. You got to be crazy, man. I would have to have like raised the horse since it was a foal. There's no shot I'm getting that close to a horse otherwise. Or I get a Glock. Whatever. College student, your major. Oh, animal care. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. Free vet experience. So they get free care and you get free experience. Do you get to keep an alpaca when you leave? Where are alpacas native to? Are they from Africa? I don't know why. I feel like they remind me of a camel, but like not camely. You know what I mean? It's like if a sheep and a camel bred, I think you get an alpaca. Are they Australian? Seems like Australia would pull out some bullshit like an alpaca. They're always up to some weird shit over there. Peru. You know what? That makes sense. Isn't no? That's a llama. That I was gonna say. Isn't the fucking like? All right, forget it. Forget it. Are they really from Peru? The hell's going on down there? Where the fuck are llamas? Peru. Holy shit, they're all wait. Oh my god, they're okay. That's a llama. That's a camelid. Hold on. What is an alpaca? Are they related? Am I crazy? Oh, they're related to. Oh, all right, all right, all right. Huayquaya alpaca breeds. That's the only breed. What the fuck? Are these guys endangered? I feel like you don't see a lot of alpacas. Lifestyle. Hold on. Let's read about their lifestyle. Um, Easy to care for since they're not limited to a specific type of environment. Okay. Animals such as flamingos, condors, spectacled bears, mountain lions, coyotes, llamas, and sheep live near alpacas. All right, I'm starting to think maybe a llama fucked a sheep and gave us the alpaca. What the fuck is a spectacled bear? Do they wear glasses? Holy shit, poor fella, dude. I'm sorry you look like that, man. That is, they really could have picked a less. Jesus, man. Like, I think he kind of looks bald. They didn't have to do him like that, right? Like, the wiki guys could pick any picture. Like, broski. They could have picked any picture. It didn't have to be that. That's kind of fucked up. Alright. I know what way are flamingos from the fucking South America? Jesus Christ, what the hell are the flamingos doing? Alright. Private farm also has pigs. Oh, look at that. You know, maybe I'm just afraid of farm animals because I feel like pigs are terrifying too. But I'm also thinking of like 900-pound pig. I'm thinking of like a wild pig. I think goats are cute. Maybe that's because I'm pretty confident I could kill a goat if I had to, if it started attacking me. Probably not actually, but you know, I don't think I could fuck with, I mean, unless I had like a gun or maybe a knife on me, I don't think I could kill a horse. So it's like, unless I'm like already on its back and like I can python that thing, it's Jover for me, bro. Same with one of them 800-pound piggies. I'm fucked. I'm like a pile of 220 bones by the end of the week. It's over. No shot. Okay. So we have this going. I want to do the lanyard on it. I feel like I should do the lanyard after putting some color in it, but at the same time, maybe I should just do the lanyard now? But like, I don't know how to draw the lanyard, and I feel like it's gonna make me shook as fuck, as the French would say. I don't know what the French would say. I've never met a French person in my life. Um, but I guess if we're drawing the lanyard, I could actually just put that back in the sheath. Anyway, how do I fucking draw this? I say we put it on its own layer, which thinking about it, I should have done the blade on its own layer and the scales on their own layer, but I am pretty fucking stupid. So, my bad. Um, all right. Now, here's where we kind of got to make some decisions. First off, there's texture in the scales. These are micarta, so this is probably a linen, if I had to guess. I don't think it's paper. So whatever the material was under it actually shows. Similarly for the lanyard, this is paracord. So it's just like a bunch of woven fibers, and you can absolutely see that. There is like a 102% chance that I'm not drawing a woven pattern on something with a 2% chance margin of error. So I don't think we're drawing that. Which is really unfortunately going to take away from the look of it. But if we really just are honest with ourselves, I can't fucking draw. So what's the difference? Man, I feel like it's mostly in use. It's like this because I'm pulling on it, right? That's between my fingers. But like when it kind of rests, it just kind of fucking flops there. So I'm not sure which way to draw it. Wait, hold on. I might draw it like this, and maybe when we come to shading, we get like that. Because if I draw it like this, we don't have to really deal with much of that shading. But I also don't know how to pick the color, so who knows? In our classroom, we already have pets. Work with animals all the time. Biggest animal we have is chickens. Rabbits, ducks, and the smallest is a scorpion. Tarantulas, lizards, snakes, rodents, fish, tortoise, frogs, toads, parrots, giant African land snails. The fuck is a land snail? Aren't all snails? Well, I guess they're sea snails. You know, I guess we do just call land snail snails usually, but if there's a sea snail, there's land snail. Is there an air snail? There's a snail trail. I know about that one. Pygmy goats at some point. Holy shit. You know, I'm starting to think that like the department head at your school here just really likes collecting exotic animals. And this is like some sort of fucking covert operation to do that. Larger than your palm, and they are giant. As long as they don't kill me, I'm good. We're good. All right, so how do I draw a tube? Never seen a fucking tube in my life. Why did I fucking pick this? There's like 6 fucking folds in this thing, bro. Like, what am I doing? Why didn't I just pick a fucking normal chord? Could draw it. Now, wait a minute. I know what you are. Okay. Seriously, I need to like start actually picking things that aren't fucking difficult. Hey, at least we're not drawing fucking heads again, right? Right. All right, we got to keep in mind that while this has been flattened out, paracord. Do I have paracord? I have paracord. I should grab this. This is paracord's a tube. Paracord's a tube. So we have to keep in mind that this thing is dimensional. Proud is what I am. Let's fucking go. We didn't get head tonight. It's a disaster. Okay. Whew. Never should have stopped drawing because I was like fucking in it and now I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, it's a tube, it's a tube. We gotta curve these lines. This is gonna be so good for my tentacle my tentacle, my penis, paracord. Drawings in the future. Penis. Penis. What if I just abandon the cute anime girls? You know, hear me out. We only draw knives. Cause let's face it, I'll never hold a woman. I mean a cute anime woman. So like, how am I gonna get better at drawing them? But knives would never betray me. If you're wondering, paracord is made out of nylon, which is why it's just melted and looks like melted plastic. Because it fucking is. That's how you tie off paracord. Send it, motherfucker. Must have been the wind. Me when the teacher asks if I farted. Must have been the wind. I'm just kidding. The teacher would never talk to me. Even the teachers bullied me in high school. It's crazy that I peaked in preschool. Actually, I don't even think I went to preschool. I skipped a grade. I went straight to kindergarten. Okay. All right. Oh my god. Oh! Goddamn raining. It actually it was raining and hailing today. It's pretty uncommon. No, I mean, rain's not that uncommon, but hailing is. It's kind of cool. But now I'm fucking drenched and I gotta drink water. Water! I need water. It's a good thing this is a stainless steel, you know? Alright. So this is just sketch phase. We gotta come over with cleaner lines. And then I am gonna try and both color and shade it in. Do we feel like we did it justice? I feel like maybe the blade shape's a little short. Bro's looking stubby, right? Like, am I tripping? We dropped it on concrete and lost the tip. The tip broke. Bro tip broke. Bro's tipless. You know? Feel like I want to fix it, but I'm afraid that if I try to fix this, I'm going to fuck it up more. Think of many uses for that knife. Really? Are you a knife person? This is a very small knife. This is made in US. All right, I got to look it up. It's auxiliary manufacturing, relatively small. Um I don't Is it the runt? It might be the runt. Hey, it's the runt. I had like some money to a place, so I got it at a pretty good discount, and I think it was also on sale, so I was like, yeah, you know what? All right, overall length is 4.875 inches. Don't let anyone ever tell you that's too small. You know, 6 is fine for a lot of women, but you know what? Sub 5 is great too, right? Blade length is 2125 with the 2-inch cutting edge. Blade width is 0.69. Thickness. Wait, what? I'm guessing that's not 10. I don't know. It is AEBL steel, which is fan-fucking-tastic. I don't know what hardness. Probably 61. Although it could be 64. AEBL is fucking goated. And it is USA made. Yippee. Handle length is 275. Fantastic. Fantastic. But yeah, this is definitely, it's like a great knife that here where I'm at, you can't actually put this in your pocket. So a fixed blade knife has to be displayed, which quite frankly makes you look like a sociopath. Uh don't worry if it goes missing. Um It makes you look like a sociopath, right? If you're carrying it. Knives like these are meant to like kind of be carried around your neck, but it can also go in your pocket. This is a Kydex sheath. I do have like a pocket clip for it and wraparounds kind of. Do I have them? I don't know where the fuck I put them, but so it can be scout carried from the back. But I don't know. I tend to prefer smaller knives. Like, I get big knives. They're fun. And they do things that small knives can't sometimes. But for the most part, like 95% of what a normal human is using it for. Like, okay, throw me into a fucking forest and I'd probably want something bigger than this. But like, I'm not gonna complain if this is all I get. But I am a sucker for small knives. I also hold on. Small Knife King. Small Knife King. This is the Three Rivers Tagalong. Also a very small knife. Kind of a 3-finger one. What is this steel? Is this Magna Cut? I don't think it even says. I don't really care. I don't know. I'm a sucker for it. It's so fucking nice to just have this. Um, Probably not gonna draw this one today because of that lanyard. I don't feel like drawing a donut. I can barely fucking manage the tubes, bro. There's no shot. Why did I get this out? This is a Winkler. Also, this is like a little bigger. This one's like maybe a little more practical for most people. Because some people do got pretty big hands. Oh man, my coating's coming off. Who cares? Um, but yeah, sometimes you just want a small one, right? I mean, sometimes you just don't want to lube up for something bigger or whatever. I don't know. You got to keep your knives lubricated or they'll rust. Use like a natural wax or something. Maybe if one of them were to give me money, I would recommend them. That's totally not some form of fraud. It's called tit for tat. All right, let's get a actual LART going here. Do, 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 do. What's knife world like where you're at? Is it like, can you just do whatever you want? A lot of size limits? Feel like a lot of times people just don't understand what tools are. You know? Bro, how did I do this? Am I stupid? Cuz like where I'm at, like legally speaking, I could have a knife just about any size, right? Folders are a little different, but like I said before, you've got to have it on display. And that just feels crazy as fuck. Um I feel like that's more likely to cause a disturbance. Bro, why can't I draw a fucking straight line? Um but it's just like I don't know. I feel like I use them all the time for cutting shit, you know? I use them all the time to open boxes filled with other knives that I've wasted my money on. So if your knives go missing, don't worry about what's happening to them. All right, okay. We'll see what happens. We'll see where they go. Do I get to write that off on my taxes? What are the odds? Bro, I cannot draw a fucking straight line to save my life. I'm about to cheat. Call me Saikuno because I'm about to cheat, dude. Is that how you pronounce that dude's name? I only know from the I don't want to say headlines, from the like trends. I don't actually know anything about bro. I just know apparently he got caught cheating on his wife with multiple women who they were all being also cheated on. Bro didn't know that the harem category requires the other girls to know about each other. Doesn't watch enough anime. That's why all my knives know about each other. Oh, it's supposed to be wives? Oh, fuck, dude. All that money wasted. All right, hear me out. The fucking sketch looked better than the goddamn line art, right? Best weapon we got in the house is my mother's baseball bat. It's a replica of Harley Quinn's baseball bat from the first Suicide Squad. Interesting. Interesting. So she's one of those, huh? That says a lot about your mother. Very interesting. She seeing anyone? Ain't no way. Wait, is the bat like a real bat? Because I know a lot of times replicas aren't like real bats, you know? Bro, why can I... Every time I draw, it's like more shaky. Am I okay? Is there something wrong? It's a real bat? That's actually pretty cool. Because I've seen like props be like just straight up foam. You know what I mean? But you know what? If it's like a replica, it's probably like not... It's not like movie made. It was probably made. It's kind of like those shitty Rambo knives that were really popular that you're probably too young for. Um, with like the screw off handle. Like they were apparently just really popular and just really poorly made. I guess it just depends on the amount of money you pay into like whether or not you're gonna get a quality item out of it. What if it's a real bat, but like it's actually just a live bat? This is our home defense bat. It's a fucking bat with rabies. You break in, you fucking die. You won't know it for 5 years, but you get bit by a fucking bat and die. Mother's a nerd. Likes anime, gaming, hell yeah. And a former goth. No, you never stop being a goth. You just learn when to dress up as a goth and when not. You can take the girl out of the goth scene, but you can't take the goth out of the girl. You know? Emo before goth. Let's go. It was emo is like the trial version of goth. You got you got to go like scene, emo, then goth. Decide whether or not it's right for you. You can cancel your subscription at any time. Is there like an art tablet that's like a bowling alley? Can I get bumpers on this shit so I stop fucking? Oh my god, this is why I have so much fucking trouble with the big picture because I have to zoom in to actually get a fucking straight line going. I can only draw 4 pixels at a time, bro. We're two autistic people, me and my brother. Surprised she's sane, poor woman. Let's go. What if she was autistic the whole time? I should have just used the fucking straight line tool. I'm actually a moron. She don't got the diagnosis. Yes, I see it. Had to come from somewhere. It's the Dexter meme. It's not. What's the guy's name? Where he's like sitting in the car, and he's like, "I got my eyes on you," and then like he's like right up in the guy's face. I'm on to you, buddy. Surprise, motherfucker. She starts nerding out about her her comics. You just look at her. I know what you are. Say it. On the spectrum. All right, I'm no doctor, I'm no psychologist. I honestly feel like, in the least like rude way possible, I don't even feel like autism is real in that I feel like everyone has their quirks. I think they're just in denial usually. And so since so many people are in denial about like how obsessed they are with baseball or basketball, it's just like the level of acceptance of that means apparently it's not but I feel like people have their things. I don't feel like that. I mean, I get that there are other things to it, but it's like you hear people all the time be like, back when I was a kid, nobody had autism. What about your fucking uncle who, had a goddamn model train city in his goddamn basement that nobody could go in or they'd get beat with a stick? It's like, at a certain point, everybody's got something like that. Maybe they're not that aggressive about it. Maybe they learned like social cues better. And I get there are other things to it, but like the fixation part that people really tend to associate it with, I feel like just isn't probably real. Like I said, there are so many grown men in the US that are just football fanatics, right? And it's like that's acceptable because it's popular. It's almost like the way people define a cult versus religion is how popular it is, right? If it's like 15 people who will drink Kool-Aid out of a poisoned cup, it's a cult. But then, you get big enough and suddenly you have, hundreds of thousands of followers, suddenly religion. If everybody thinks your collection, your stamp collection is mainstream, suddenly it's no longer strange. They don't need to diagnose you before it or something. I don't know. I guess maybe I'm not wording it right, but I just feel like people fixate no matter where they are mentally. I don't know how to put it. I guess is really where I'm going here. I feel like people take it too seriously on like how upset they are on whether or not somebody's into something and like see a sign of, oh, he's into trains. That makes them that type of person. Or, you know, they collect comic books. They're that kind of person. But it's totally okay for someone to collect purses. Oh, he has a firearm collection even is I feel like is considered like more socially acceptable than like comic book people. But I really just feel like everyone's just different. And I don't know if that necessarily requires a diagnosis, but I think you're fantastic no matter what you like. Well, maybe not no matter what, but you know what I mean. Within reason, within reason. Let's not endorse something we don't need to endorse. Wait, let's not let's hold our horses there. I mean, why are horse girls acceptable? Yet you can't trust a horse girl. You just can't. They're not real. I should have put that on a separate layer. This is what happens when you're me. You're a fucking when you're a fucking moron. All I'm saying is why can't people just enjoy the things they enjoy without stigma? Be the way they are. Be who they are. Within reason. Within reason. We're not endorsing whatever it is that somebody's going to be like, oh, what about it? Yeah, shut the fuck up, guy. That's what about that reason. Okay. All right, am I tripping or does this look worse? Oh, fuck. We missed the line. Wait, that's kind of clean. Except for the fact that it's not. Alright, let's take a little look. Got lines there, we got that. Now there is a little something here that I was kind of hoping maybe we could pull off as a different shade. Got that coming up. Yeah, maybe we come up to here on that. What do we think? I think we do. Different flavor of mental. I'm pretty sure I have or had an uncle who was like a super trained dude. It was just his thing. It's all he cared about. Trains. Didn't I fucking erase this? Am I crazy? What in the crack co-train did I do? Alright, there's the problem with pickup method. It kind of looks all wobbly and light or dark in certain spots because I just can't keep a solid line going. Wobble, baby. Alright. How do I do this? We start with that. We start with color first, I guess, right? I don't know, what color would we say this is? It's like some sort of brown, but it's like a orangish brown. What's going to be the easiest way to do this? I guess select, do the whole outline, and we just deal with overlap by hand. Worder. I need to like go brush hunting, I guess. Because I think I can do custom brushes. I just don't know how. So maybe I figure that out at some point. Anyway, let's name these before I get too messed up here. So Lart lanyard sketch, and then sketch. All right. I believe we want Lart on top. And okay, we want to invert this. Select, invert. So now, yep, we're drawing in there. Okay. Is this a brownish color? So we want to go towards the orange, orangey red maybe? You know, I feel like that's a good color for it, but like only if it's gonna have the texture, and it's not gonna have the texture. So, I don't know, do I have a light? Here we go. God, it really is like a brown. It's like a light orange brown here, and it's like brown red in it. That might be because it's like more oily here and less oily here. from my hand oils. And so, like, it's not showing the lighter parts as well. Really is like a brown and red, though. Damn, I got a dust. I could have swore I wiped this down this morning. Oh, shit, it red. You're wondering, allegedly red, well, probably scientifically red is easier to see at night. Like, it's easier on the eyes and it doesn't really affect the thing. You have the flavored autism where I have to hold my mother's hand in public due to large crowds causing me to have panic attacks. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, you know, I imagine it's at least nice to have a bond with your mother like that, though. Carry a teddy with me for comfort. I'm going to get medicated for anxiety at some point since it causes insomnia, panic attacks. Alone for 5 minutes where I feel scared. Oh. Go on walks with myself, otherwise I get paranoid, so I'm often stuck inside the house unless I'm in college. But labeled aside, everyone has issues. I suppose they do. I don't think I'm that anxious, but I am very anxious. It's hard to be around people, you know? Am I tripping? Oh, I pressed Control Z one too many times. Oh, I'm on LART layer. That's the problem. I'm actually stupid. Thinking I might stick with this because what I can do is lighten this and darken it in certain spots. Okay. Dookie brown. Is it that bad? Is it not like at least slightly like reddish orangish? Am I tripping? Now's your chance to speak up. Is it that bad? Speak now or forever hold your truth, king. Maybe Karen. Uh-oh. See, this is where I start to feel like I don't I know I don't understand color and whatnot, but like I don't understand how to pick it even, you know? Like sometimes an orangey brown is still just an orangey brown, like it's enough. But like also, like how am I supposed to pick this exact color? You know what I mean? Like how do I use the color dropper tool from real life to see? This is what AI was supposed to be for. I should be able to put on glasses and like it tell me what the fucking color is. But instead it just fucking draws child porn or whatever the fuck those freaks are using that shit for. Classic. I guess I don't technically need to do anything here. Push it into the screen. You know what? You're right. That's what I should do. Just stab the fucking screen. Okay. What if we do another layer? Hold on. Let's name this scales. Scales color, maybe. And then we'll do blade color. Oh, I'm gonna have to do one for lanyard too, motherfuck. Okay, so this is very much like an acid. I'm supposed to be sleeping. Yeah, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Go the fuck to sleep. Yeah, this is acid washed as fuck. So this is definitely like a very dark gray. quite textured. I don't know how I'm going to pull that off, though. Maybe something like this. And then we'll just erase any overlap. Thank God I finally learned about layers, huh? I was distracted. Damn. It's all my fault. Talking about alpacas and shit. Looking at the carrot poop knife. Alright, I feel like, hear me out. Not to toot my own dick or nothing. But I feel like that it like comes together just a little bit with the blade. Like it's a little less jarring now that there's more color on the field here. It definitely is maybe a little too orange, but I don't know, maybe I can fix that with like we'll just fake it for a second, but maybe just kind of do that over it real quick. Something like that. Maybe we do that for the shading. Would it not be pump instead of toot? Oh my god. It's a tootin' pump. It's a rootin' tootin'. What the fuck is this line, by the way? What did I do here? Somebody help me. Can somebody who actually knows how to draw this for me, please? Thank you. Appreciate it. Just trying to bump and grind or whatever the fuck. I don't know. I don't know music. Okay. We'll do one more now. This will be, we'll call it lanyard, but we're also going to do the pin. So these are different blues. I feel like this one's very much just like the most fucking blue you can do. I'm gonna leave the black of the... What is this shit called? Outline? The lart? Even though, right, there's no real seam there. Just because that's how I got it. Oh, not the ad break. Wait, it didn't even say. I mean, it's too late now. Shit. Sorry about that. I believe this is Jeton. Now this is maybe a little lighter. Okay. Okay, this could be problematic the way I did it. Damn it. I am problematic. I do. Twitch was advertising Turbo, which I refused to pay for. Also, welcome back. Yeah, Twitch is something else, isn't it? It's like I can't turn off ads. I can only change the frequency. If I change the frequency to be infrequent, they decide when the ads are, and I don't get paid for them. Um, so they will always play an ad when you first join the stream, and then I believe it's just whenever. I think it's the same schedule, so it's like every 30 minutes or something. So it's at minimum something like 3 minutes an hour. That's like the lowest I can do while making. I think if I do that at 3 minutes per an hour, it means there's then an hour that there can be no ads. It's so fucking convoluted, but man, I don't know why they did it. Not that the old ad system was great or anything, but I don't know, man. All right, so I think I'll hold off on doing it, but shoot. I should probably do something along the lines of like filling this with blue. I just don't know how to do this properly. I also should maybe, what if I invert the selection? I didn't think about this. I gotta do this one here. I forgot about this one. Yay. Okay, I can draw here. Oh, okay. So wait, I didn't even fuck up here. Why doesn't it lock that out? I'm kind of confused. All right, well, let's revert? I don't know. Anyway, we getting paid today. Okay. So we have lanyard stuff. The lanyard needs some work though, and we have some Lart stuff. So I think what I need to do is go back to Lart for a second. Let's draw a quick little black maybe line here. And then it's time. So that's the lanyard tube, but we shouldn't be able to see that. And then that's that part of the knife. We shouldn't be able to see that. So that should help that along. So now we go back to lanyard. We go back to this. If I use this, does that just work? Okay, that's fine. This is like the dumbest possible way to do this, but you know me, the dumbest possible person. How to wear down your pen with your boy. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and try and clean up all of these like areas that I don't know what that line is, but it's staying now. Interesting. I don't know what I'm doing. Cut that out. Okay. So let's do a shadow layer maybe? Shade? I don't know. We'll do shading. We'll call it multiplicative. So I have seen a couple of theories on how to do this. I don't feel like I know any of them. Let's go. It's a accordion? Damn. Not the cricket noises. Not the cricket noises. Ain't no way. I've seen a handful of ways that have described this. It's either like, use black, gray, and whites to do the shadows. Pog, pog, pog. We're pogging. And I've also seen used like the inversion of the color. So if it's like a blue, let's just say, hold on. So if it's like this, we need to go over to here and pick that part of the color wheel and use that as our shadow. Now, I just don't know how that's going to work for me. I guess it has something to do with the way light actually reflects or something, but like, I don't know if I've got the talent. I mean, I'm struggling with just fucking picking carrot orange here. So what if I just use the color of as multiply? I mean, like it works, but is that right? Point, I would close the canvas and go to sleep. Well, you're probably smarter than I am, so congratulations. So what if I do the inversion strat? Is this right? What if I do something more like this? This doesn't feel right. Yeah, I don't think so. Do a blue, then lower the opacity. You think so? Okay. We'll go with the blue. We'll do what, 50% opacity? And we just send it? I guess I just need to be better about not overlapping, don't I? Okay, hold on. So let's just put this, we'll just put it there for now. All right. Maybe 50% is too much. Often shaded with blue or purple. Okay. Well, thank you for that. I feel like I don't know where to shade. So hold on, where is the light going to be coming from? Realistically, probably head on, right? So honestly, this would probably be all light. So what if we did, we'll pretend that the light's coming from the top, like top down. So this will be lighter, this will maybe be a shade darker, and this will be the darkest. So what I probably want is maybe this. And we'll do something like, ah, fuck, I forgot to do the opacity thing. Something like this. Doesn't feel right, but we're gonna go with it for now. We can always just completely undo everything we do. Classic. I know. We call it the giving the fuck up strat. He's learning. I'm gonna become too powerful. Okay. So then, what if I just do like, call me stupid? If I do something like, okay, that's way too much. So even more opaque than that, maybe? Hold on. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and erase that. There's probably an easier way to go about this. But this is the way I'm doing it right now because we're ass. But we're learning. Take pics of the objects. Yeah, that's probably the smarter way to do it than to like move it the fuck around, flip it around, you know, shove it up my ass or something, whatever the fuck's going on here. Right? That's what a smart person would do. They'd have a static image. But when the fuck have we ever been smart? Come on. Okay. All right. This doesn't feel quite right, but I also have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. So there is that to consider. All right, so let's do another pass on this lower part, and I just realized I can't actually erase that, can I? So I have to like be very precise with this. All right, so now I should be able to go over here. Okay. You know, that actually didn't look too bad of a blue there. Whether or not it's right, I don't know, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Stream gotta have at least 2 brain cells for that. Not really. You just press like go live. It's actually really simple. So simple, even I can do it. All right. So we've got that cleared. What if I just like do this, you know? Does that do anything for us? No, not really. Well, maybe. Hold on. What if I do it smaller? I don't like it. I think I need to erase whatever's in here, don't I? Hold on. Kind of forgot that this existed. Okay. Fucking tweaking out here. How do I deal with this then? Do I just like manually pen over this? Should we try to keep going with this? So it's not so harsh of a line? What the fuck am I cooking up here? Alright. Well, how do we do the thing then? Oh god, not the microphony. Okay. Let's do a different one for Blade Shade. So we'll pick that. And then we got to invert. Ooh. Did we select that off of blue? How do I invert this? Like it's still just fucking gray, right? Light angles are softer on the point of the object that is furthest away from the light source. Closer to the light source, the harsher the shading, like cell shading. Well, shit. That doesn't help me at all. I'm too stupid for this. Okay, so this is just multiplying, which, like, kind of works, I guess. Well, it's not even multiplying, actually. I didn't set it to multiply. What if I do it to multiply? Okay, so how would this look? You study real-life photos, you can see different points of shade to be soft and sharp. That's how I learn. Interesting. I should probably study things, shouldn't I? I really need a pen that's this, but like this, you know? Like it's relatively always the same size. God, I really need to go fucking brush shopping or something. What am I doing? What's the least stupid way to do this? Literally any way other than what I'm doing, I think. What if I increase the opacity? Maybe this is a case where black would just be the answer. I feel like I can see a difference. It's just that I don't know if I like it. Let's just see what happens if I do it in black. Okay. So I need to somehow pull this off in a single pass. Can I change the brush properties? Not really. I don't think. Can I change the flow? So this will give me all of the properties here, right? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. This is how I get into the situation where it's easier for me to just erase. I think that's it. It's just going to be easier for me to erase. That's where I'm at right now. I just don't have the skill to like do the fine lines yet. So it's easier for me to erase stuff. So let's do that. I know that kind of sucks and I really should get the other stuff going. But we're not there, so let's do what we can do for now. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't do it this way because even if I do it poorly the other way, at least it's practice. But I feel like if the end result is better from doing it a little bit differently, that's like a step in between so that I can get good enough to do the real step, maybe makes more sense to me. I don't know, man. I'm paint user, not Krita. Can't help. Damn. Shit out of luck. All right, so this is like very silver for the edge here. And this is very dark here. So let's maybe shrinko dicko this down quite a bit. And then what if we get this like here going maybe? It's a little too, right? Let's use gray for this. I want it to be darker. Nothing? Is it the opacity? Wait, what is this on? Oh, it's on normal. Would multiply help? It wouldn't. So this just turns it black. If I lower the opacity back down, that might be it for this. Okay, let's zoom in. It's a little too dark there. Technically, you have no one light source since you keep moving the knife. You know what? I'm going to move the sun. Can't complain about a light source if we change it. You know? Man, that is just not consistent at all, is it? Okay. So let's do a little, what is this, blade shade? Let's do a little lightening one. Because I do need to lighten some things up. I don't know if you're supposed to like always use white for lighten. I don't really know how this works. If I use, hold on, if I use the same gray, does that, I mean, it's technically lighten, right? No, okay. So if I use white, okay. Okay. And we would like this to hopefully be even lighter than that. I don't know how I'm going to manage this though. Can't just leak all the information. You gotta learn it just as I did. The suffering will continue. I was hoping this would help me get like cleaner, straighter lines, but obviously that didn't fucking work, right? Um, I don't know. I'm thinking next morning stream I might try and do like some. I need to find like a hair exercise. I guess I can just find random pictures of people. Maybe I'll look up celebrities and draw them. That way, because I feel like it'd be really weird if I just like started fucking picking pictures of people and, just drew them. Like just random ass people. I feel like it's rude. I don't know. You can tell this is an edge that I did because it's lopsided. Jesus Christ. All wonky and shit. I actually use a precision edge guide, so it's actually usually not that bad when I do it. I cheat. Um, let's just try and blend these. So let's go back to the blade shade. Yippee. We need a NASA security leak for our learnings. I don't like how this is almost as light as that. I might need to like do another pass or something. So this is blade shade. I'm gonna do, is this lanyard? That's just lanyard. I'm gonna do a little bit of black right here for a second. You know, hold on a second. Maybe this is what I should stick with for now. Not the inverted shading, but just like black, gray, and white. Because I actually think this might be the best look I can get at the moment. Like, I just don't have the skill for other stuff. So, like, the more highlight detail-y one, I feel like is what I should focus on. Like, what I can do is what I should do. I know that sounds fucking stupid. But that might actually be how I have to work right now. Wait, another ad break? What? What is going on? Was it even 30 minutes ago? I think it's supposed to have been 30 minutes. And I don't feel like it was 30 minutes ago. I swear, it always sounds like my neighbors are building something, but there's never anything built. Like, I don't know what the fuck they're always doing construction on in there. I feel like I both want to use a larger pen size to do this faster, but I just don't feel like I have one I'm comfortable with doing it with, because it always feels like it gets kind of blurry, and then I don't like how it looks. I like how this one's like untouched. uh, so let's invert the selection for a second. What? Huh? Did I do this on a different thing, I guess? Why is it that I can't do it here? Oh, did I? Hold on. Ah, I did the blue on the lart. No. Oh, yo. Oh, yo. Let's go. Hold on. I'm a fucking moron. Oh no, we're losing line. Wait. Wait a minute. Huh? I cooked with that. Don't don't even, you know. Fuck. Stop. Okay, we need to change this. What? Oh no, we unselected somehow. How did I unselect? Interesting. Selecto Dicko. Okay. All right. Let's throw some more shade. Haha. Oh ho. Okay. So let's quickly try to oh no. No, no, no. Hopefully that blends a little. I know it's kind of fucky wucky, but it is what it is. No, not deselect. Fuck. Why do I keep deselecto dickoing, dude? Let's go back to shade. Let's go back to that. Let's go back to invert selection. So let's blend it a little bit. Okay. I don't know about that. That's my fault. I don't know what I was cooking up there, but I don't know about it. Okay. I'm thinking maybe we do a little more lighten on the edge here. It's almost becoming white, though. It's a little bit of a concern. That's because it is becoming white. What am I doing? That's just full white now, right? Like, am I crazy? Okay, apparently, allegedly, it's not white. Um, uh, I'm inclined to believe, bro. So let's go for it. Are we sure? Hold on, this one might be white. Okay, this one is white because of the opacity. Okay. Now, how would I do a silver color on gray in the future? This really feels like it's white to me, by the way. Okay. All right. So let's deselect for a sec. So think we'll add a little bit of shade in here. We'll use this. We'll go in. Why doesn't that work? Oh, I'm on that brush, I think. Okay, that is it. All right, so that doesn't feel right to me. And again, that's on me. I just don't know how to do it properly. Maybe I need to do it gray black first and then put this over it. This might have just been too much. Maybe we just leave it. I feel like this should be pretty close to black in here, to be honest. You should barely be able to see through this unless there's a light shining through to the other side, which there is not. So this should basically be black. right? Take a step back. What if we hide the lart? I actually kind of like it. Feel like maybe we messed up here. We don't have enough depth here. I feel like we need like a light in here. That just doesn't even look right though. I think it's not light and it just maybe needs to be a different color because of this. Or I need to find a better way to blend it. Oh, you know what? Hold on. No, the opacity was pretty low. It's not expressing as a different plane, I feel like. Or is it? Maybe it is. There's a couple areas where I wish I had overlapped better. I actually think it's not that bad. It's not great, but it's not that bad. I feel like here, probably I should have just done in black because, again, on me. I think for the main, the blue was the right call, but I think for these darker shadows, I should have stuck black. If that makes sense. You know what? We need like a shadow over that. Don't think that's right. I think we should just actually go with this. And let's just try and blend it. Hopefully it's not too off. Feel like I might have fucked it. So if we get rid of the lart, okay, that's a little nicer. I actually almost think this one looks better without the lart, outside of this one particular line here. Maybe outside of that too. But it actually almost looks like a painting of a knife somehow. So let's get a little comparison going. Apparently I'm blocking the fucking camera from tracking my face. Well, what if I use this? There we go. Surely it can see me now. How do we feel? Probably blocking again. Hello. Hello. Feel like it's not too bad. We learned some shading. Thank you, Clown Misfit. That's all you. But I feel like I didn't get a lot on our straight lines, which was that was what I was hoping for. I do feel like we got some decent depth feeling on that lanyard though, right? Like that's not too terrible. Not too terrible. It's not great, but it's not too terrible. Okay, in the future, I mean, I do have pictures of my knives, but in the future, I should take pictures of them to do it. That way, it's just a consistent thing. I actually have some pictures of them on my Twitter. I could do that. For now, we're gonna save Oxman Runt. I should really be dating these, you know what I mean? So that I can come back and look at the progress. Ah. Alright, we're gonna move on to a new one. Who do we pick? Got bro here. Good job, bro. Ow. We could go bigger. It's a lot of interesting lines to be had on this. I feel like I won't be able to do the scales justice though, because this is like a dyed curly maple, and it's got like purple, yellow, green, blue, and then like orange. I don't feel like we're gonna be able to pull that one off, so maybe we hold off on that. I was thinking I would do it. You know what? We did bring out the tag along earlier, the Three Rivers tag along. My only problem with this one, like I said, is this lanyard is gonna be a bitch. Like, what was I cooking, bro? I got straight, we go wrap a looty doody, loop de loop and pull, and then we loop de loop and pull at the end, and we gotta draw the donut. Man, the blade though, I mean the scales have a lot to them, but the blade is relatively simple. But it is on the small side. But then like I said, the lanyard, bro. I was not cooking when I chose this lanyard. I mean, I was because it's a small knife and it's like the thing is like exactly perfect to be pulled out by my pinky. But I don't know if I was cooking. Should stay probably pretty small. All right, that's top contender. We did show this earlier. Now this has this jimping here that I feel like might be hard. It's also curly maple. Actually, no, this is walnut, I think. The problem with this is it again, it's patterned. So there's like black, there's light brown, dark brown, and it kind of like it's not like a solid color. I could just forego color like that and like pattern like that. It's a pretty easy blade shape outside of the jimping, I guess. And it's a very high contrast, right? Because this is a very thick coating. Well, I did wear it out here and at the tip a bit, but it's a relatively thick coating. And then the blade is very light. It's kind of just the same blade shape, I guess. Well, this is more of a drop point, but or not a drop point. Well, actually, is it? The fuck blade? It's almost like a trailing point, but it doesn't trail. What would I call this? Am I stupid? This does have a nice long line here. A little false edge here. Not really, more like a swedge. And then this kind of gives me like anime hair vibe. So it might be good to draw from that perspective. And this is very rounded. So it might be good from that perspective. I'm thinking we go with this. And when it comes to the scales, we might just do a solid brown. I don't know. We can experiment with putting a pattern on it. I just don't know if that's something we could do though. What do we think? We could draw the sheath. We could draw the Kydex sheath for that. We could go folders. Should I go look through the folders? All right. We have plenty of folders to draw, don't get me wrong. I think we're going to go with the tag along after all. And the reason is it feels like we're running away from the difficulty of it. I think we should just send it, right? We're going to try and maybe do this one this way. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me open this one back up. There was something I wanted to do. I totally forgot about this. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. That just reminded me. Just reminded me. So that says Ox, right? Hold on. Ox MFG. So we're going to put OEO on it. Smart. Should I put OEO Mofo instead of MFG? Okay, I really shouldn't have done that because it is so fucking crooked. All right, hold on. We actually have to do it right if we're going to do it. Maybe you should do it closer. Hold on. I think we can move it. Because all that color should be on the back, so we shouldn't be moving anything else. And then maybe shrink it. Whoa, why did that get so blurry being shrunk? Shouldn't it get sharper? Or am I tripping? Alright, where did they start it? They actually have it like further up here. They have it like right here and like really, really large. But I'm going to keep it like right here. Because I think that's funny. Okay. Anyway, let's resave this. I totally forgot I wanted to do that. Okay. Let's zoom out for a sec. Okay, let's do the tag along. All right, I'm thinking this direction, right? Because the last one we did the other way. So let's try and pull this one off this way. It's going to be very difficult. So this is very much not going to go well. Hey, at least this one has a fucking sharpening choil. This is very rounded, but it's almost too rounded to really be able to draw. This is gonna have to really come out with shading, and I don't know if I can do that. I know this kind of looks pink to me sometimes. It's actually orange, or allegedly orange. Um, whether or not it's either is debatable, I suppose. Okay. You know, I'm not saying this is perfect. It's actually pretty incredible, though, to me that I don't draw these as often as I probably want to because I find it kind of fun and satisfying, but I'm kind of good at them. It's like I have less experience drawing these than skulls, but I feel like I'm just better at drawing these. Even pre-skull, even our pre-skull era. I could just like generally get a shape out even just having it in my head. And I guess that really does just come down to how much I've seen them and how much time I've spent around them and used them to like where maybe I don't have perfect dimensions down, but like I can kind of just think about it and we've got it. Got a full flat grind on this baby. Very slicey. Do, 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 do. Okay. All right, so how do we want to do this? Kind of come out a little more. Feels too small, but it also feels too big at the same time. Hard to explain. Hmm. Too small. I'm trying not to blow it out of proportion here, but I'm like underselling it. It's just the way I gotta do it, I guess. All right. So let's redo this. You know, I might do the time lapse for these if I can. See how they come out. Hold on a sec. Okay, this one might be going back in the sheath when I'm not holding it. This one's a little sharper. This one's a little sharp. I think it's probably because actually I think these might still both have factory edges. I've used them about the same amount. I think it's just this one wasn't as, I don't want to say as good of an edge. It wasn't as thin of an edge. Um, so like this one is more slicey just because it's straight up thinner. If that does make sense, but you know, it also would make sense. This is CPM Magna Cut. Rest in peace, Crucible Metallurgy. Um, they went out of business because apparently people just used the names and didn't actually use their steels. Um, but this is CPM Magna Cut. This is AEBL. Um, honestly, it probably barely matters, but it probably matters enough. AEBL heat treated properly is fucking goated. Also, I just say that I don't actually like the ulti clip. It kind of hurts my hands to open it. This is like a permanent fixture for me. I mean, in terms of clipping it to something, it's fucking phenomenal, but it's too hard to open. Okay. All right. Let's take a second. Here's what I'm thinking. Pretty good. We want to maybe widen the back out, widen the base here, maybe cut in a little here. But I think the overall length here is fine. We just need to maybe extend it because we're widening it. Now we can do that with that like this. So gonna do it. So let's go ahead and go out just a smidgen. I should have left the old bit there, actually, thinking about it, because that would tell me how much further out I needed to go. So we'll just cut in just a little bit sooner here. So we'll go out and around. We'll come out and around. Okay, let's clean this up. Sorry, hitting the mic. Now that's a bit too much, isn't it? Shoot. Hmm. This is interesting. I don't know if I can do this. It's just like too much variation for my tiny little brain. Is it too wide? Is that what I'm doing wrong here? See, this doesn't feel so bad, but like when I look at it, it doesn't feel right. Maybe it's this that's wrong? And that was fine the whole time? Is that better? And then we draw an oval there. And then oval around it. Maybe the inner oval would be easier. And we do the lanyard. Oh, fuck the... What did I do? Who told me to do a lanyard, bro? Why do I put shit on my fucking knives? Why can't I just be normal? Just use it the way it fucking comes. Who taught me how to do this? I think this is actually the only one I can easily do, and it's the only one I learned how to do myself. There's like another one that I learned from a tutorial. Do I have a knife with that? There we go. I learned this from a tutorial, and I can never fucking repeat it unless I'm like staring at this stuff. It's like folded over. Like all of the other ones I just cannot remember, but that one I know. I saw that one, I was like, oh, that's cool. And I figured it out, and then I looked it up, and that was like pretty much it. I think the only thing I got wrong was how to tie it off. But I like tying it off this way, which is this, but like only once instead of like 5 times. Or no, it's the other one. It's only once instead of multiple times. All right. So let's go ahead and keep this as a 6-dimensional being here. You know, this actually would probably be weirdly easier if I were drawing it the other way around, because then you could see the start of it and it would probably make a little more sense. But as it is, I feel like it's a little confusing because it kind of just turns into cylinder. Fuck, how do I draw the donut, bro? Do I do it without the donut? Oh, brother. So the leather is cut at like an angle if you're wondering why I'm changing it instead of flat. All right. Let's do a little stretching action for the boys. Fuck. The hell? All right, we ain't stretching that hard. I think it just lost track of my ears because I like leaned back too far and too forward. So it was like, where'd bro go? Okay. So we got to draw the screws. These are Torx bits. The other one had a pin. These are replaceable scales. I think these are pretty customizable, and I'm not sure how often they sell different scales, but they definitely sell different scale versions. Same with that, the runt. It's just they're fixed. So unless you know how to, I basically angle grind it down because it's probably all pretty heavily epoxied together if I had to guess. So unless you know how to do that, you're probably not doing the other scales. Okay. All right, so the hardware on this is black, right? Okay. Might need a new sitting position for this. I guess I can bring my other chair over here. I've just been using this little fucking stool thing because I didn't want to move my chair every time I drew, but we're drawing quite a lot these days, so maybe it's time. Wait, don't I have a knife? Hold on, I have a knife with what do we got on here? Oh, this is just like a double knot. Okay. Thought I had something cooler on there. My bad. I ain't cool. I'm not that guy. Not that guy, pal. I'm not that guy. All right. All right. All right. So we got to do the Torx screws first, but let's talk about how far we've come on this one. First off, I feel like the blade to handle ratio of what I've drawn is way off, and I think the lanyard is way too small. The question is, do we try to fix this? The lanyard is on its own thing, and we do still have time in that this is just the sketch. So line art wise, we can still come in and get this going right. I'm thinking we do it, right? I feel like it's too small. The line art's going to come in and just improve it. So if I hit it and then quit it, and then we'll grab both. Deselect. We'll just grab both and we'll move it up. Okay, much better on the lanyard scaling. The handle still isn't what I wanted it to be. Those scales aren't quite right. The blade isn't exactly perfect. We might be able to clean that up a bit in line art phase. I'm honestly pretty worried about screw placement. These are basically just like out here. No real landmark way for me to just gauge what I'm doing. This is going to be kind of scary for me. It's too big, it feels like. This is another problem I was thinking of. Like, how do I tell if it's too big or too small here? Okay. So these are, in fact, hex screws. These are like a, I don't want to say a DLC, but some sort of like glossy black coat. Maybe they are DLC'd. I don't know. They're like, they're simultaneously matte and glossy. It's really hard to tell. But it's a Torx bit, so we can kind of just cheat this part and just draw a little Star David for the boys. Sheriff Star, whatever you want to call it. Okay, none of those are centered, which probably means that they're made by Boker Plus. I'm kidding. I don't think I've ever gotten an unstraight screw from them. That said, they always use T6s on a lot of stuff, and a lot of their T6s stripped, so fuck them. They do make some pretty cool knives, though. Stop using T6s. Goes for anyone, not just them. T6s are a thing of the past. They can hurt you. Stop it. There's no reason. T10s are higher. T8s are okay. T8s are okay. Alright, deselect. Those are going to have to be good enough. I feel like this one's a little too big, but it is what it is. You know? What can we do? Alright. So let's do a LART layer. Sketch. Lanyard sketch. Do we remember to do a separate LART layer for the lanyard here? Like, do we do it? I feel like maybe, I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it doesn't really matter because no matter what, I'm trying to think here. No matter what, the screws will be consumed unless I do it the hard way, which I'm not opposed to. Um, or the lanyard will be a little bit consumed, but like not that much. All right. We're gonna just do it all in one. Okay. All right. Should probably just copy and paste the same fucking screw over and over again, shouldn't I? There's actually quite a bit of belly to this knife, so maybe we do just try and follow the line for this part. We did all right enough on it. Do 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 do. Okay. Somebody tell the fucking helicopter to go away, please. Thank you. Okay. We are seriously struggling with this one. Okay. Okay. Actually, that's probably pretty wide compared to. Okay. Jesus, dude. Yeah. All right. We can add sprinkles later. Okay. By the way, on screen we have I've had this on my tabs for a while. It's Pixel Art Journey on Twitter. They did like a gesture thing of like bodies. I thought maybe this would be something I'd do at some point, but we got like really caught up in the heads. Maybe it's worth trying out. These are a lot more like human proportions compared to like anime people. But you know, maybe it's worth trying just so I get some practice. I really feel like I need to work on my hair though. I don't know, man. All right, so we got some lart down. So let's do this. Let's move that. Um, we'll do scale color, blade color, and then might just do lanyard with the blade or something. No, we'll do lanyard on its own. Okay, so let's start with the scales. So what we want to do is lart, grab, and invert. This is going to be really difficult for the lanyard. Invert. Okay, so this. Hold on. Where's my light? This is very much supposed to have been orange, but it's definitely like a pinkish orange to me. And can you even see that? Uh, Maybe without the light's better for you. If I do the light on the ceiling so you get the ambient light, maybe. Or like the light on my hand so that it's reflected. Bro, I don't know, man. To me, it's like not the same as the other thing. Right? That's like brownish orange. This is like reddish pinkish orange. Okay. I guess we'll go with like a more reddish pinkish orange. I don't know what else to do. I could maybe just choose the same orange, honestly, and um probably technically get away with that. And then what we could do is lighten it until it looks right. That on my ceiling. Cool. I don't know. It's probably gonna drop on my fucking head later. It's not gonna be fun. Okay. So let's pick something maybe closer to the spectrum here. Maybe like something in here. Okay, the opacity's too low on that. Mm, maybe? Oh, we're on the LART. Okay. You know, maybe the better play. Hold on. I think I might have a better play here. Control C, Control V. No. Ah, come on. Alright, Control V. Then we merge with the layer below. Now we should be able to do this, but we can't. Why can't we do this? Because it's not there. Why doesn't this work? I swear to you, this has worked in the past. Oh, we're on eraser. Jesus Christ. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Really confident I turned that off, but whatever. So we'll do the same strat then, Control V. And then merge. This is actually a much lighter gray, so let's just go much lighter from the jump. Okay. And then we'll use some black for the screws. Maybe we won't. You know what? Let's just use dark gray. I know that's not true to form, but I'm lazy and we can probably get that looking pretty decent. So let's work on that. Let's maybe use this for that. No. Use this. Let's go back to scales. Didn't think that would work. Not bad. Okay. Let's go ahead and do the lanyard. So, no. So now we want to control V. And then we'll merge this down again. This is a lot of extra work in lines that honestly aren't really necessary for what we're doing. But, something we are in fact doing. Just leave this empty for now. All right, so for this is where it's going to get real crazy for me. So a lot of this is pretty textured as well, so that's not ideal. This is quite brown. Okay, let's go back up in opacity. So, yeah. So these are now flipped here. That inner one's a little lighter. Okay. So now I need like a lighter shade of this. Something like that maybe. And we'll come back over these with like some stuff for shading. And maybe we'll do something real quick right here so that this doesn't feel too lazy. Okay. Do some shading on that stuff. For this, let's go pink. So the problem with the way we're doing this is we're going to end up with line problems for that like no LART version. Not the biggest deal in that we're probably considering not even changing that, but it is a problem nonetheless. So let's maybe look into like a dough color. Okay, and I'm thinking maybe this is basically just gonna probably have to be black. Shadow wise, so it looks weird though. Okay, we'll deal with that later. This needs to be that. So we'll do that, and then we'll do that, and then we'll hit them with that. Okay. So now, Selecto Dico tool. This is going to be strange. Choose that. I guess we could just shade the whole thing. So we do this as multiply. Sorry, wrong one. And we'll do the strat. So we'll pick this. So we're here. So we'll pick something over here. And now we probably have to invert selection. Now we'll make this a little bigger. Really? I'm so confused. Haven't I been putting this under? Oh, the shade went on top. Okay, my bad. My mistake. All right, whatever. Okay. We'll just call this lighten. Okay. All right, so let's grab the shading, change the opacity, and it's not working again. Is the opacity too low? Okay, it's unnormal, that's why. That is not why. What is happening? Oh. Jesus Christ, dude. I'm gonna fucking have a stroke. Okay. We're finally here. Opacity. Alright. So we want this here to actually be a bit darker. Okay. As for this, I think we just do black. Oh, I just realized I didn't fucking draw the edge on. Oh, shit. Maybe we can fake it with the lighten. Dude, oh no. We're cooked. We might be able to pull it off in a minute, but I think we're mostly just cooked. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's just see what happens if we shade things just a smidge. Or, merge things, rather. Oh, I didn't do that one. My mistake. Sorry. All right. So let's use that one. Okay. And that one. So then should be able to just kind of get those roughly and tumbly, if you will. Okay, so let's do some lightning. We're gonna choose whites. And we're gonna do a couple of real good, hopefully, passes here. Okay, I'm not liking this, so let's undo that. Let's use this strategy instead. We're gonna zoom all the way in. We don't have opacity on this, do we? Oh, we do. Okay. Feel like that's looking a little too white for me overall. And we'll deal with it later. So we want, like, some lightning to be happening up here. But, like... No, that's backwards. Hold on. We want only this to be whitening right now. But we do want this here to be a little lighter. Let's just see what this does for us. We can always just literally unfucking do all of it, so not too worried. I should be, but I'm not. Alright, so let's go all in like this. All the same direction. Go back to shading a sec. I feel like it's a little too blue here. I don't know how else to say it. I feel like this needs to be blacker. So let's go ahead and just like, you know, hit them with it in here. Let's redo that. Let's just leave that as that for now. Okay. So let's just see what happens if we get rid of the LART layer. Nothing, because we didn't really use the LART layer like we wanted to. Shoot. Yeah. Okay, so we leave the LART layer then. So what we did wrong was take the easy way out. What I should have done is just selected each zone from the LART and gone back and forth. I'm kind of looking here. I feel like maybe I can try and add like some text. Ah, fuck! I just hit my leg here. We can try to add some like texture to the scales. So like we'll take the. Actually, I think we're this. So we'll take like a red from here maybe. And then like no, that's not right. Is it? I mean, that is kind of it, but I don't like how I'm doing it. I don't know how to do it, so maybe we don't do it. Okay, let's add some sprinkles then. Okay. Shrink the pen. Got some red. Got a little bit of purple in there. Maybe like one little yellow. Nah, it's a little too hidden. Let's do 2 yellow. We got green. We got some green. There's like no dimension to these though, I feel like. They need the shading on them. All right. Okay. Take a step back. Let's look at that bad boy. Why am I not being tracked? So, a lot of things wrong with this. A lot of things wrong with this. First off, I feel like this orange just doesn't do this orange justice. Now, to be fair, it's like a lighter here, darker here, where it's like more of a pinky orange and more of a reddy orange, right? And I just don't have the skill to capture that. So we have problems with that respect. Right? We couldn't really capture like the sort of very reflective blackish like graphite color here. It's just not something I'm capable of right now. We didn't really get like the contour right. We tried, but we didn't get it quite right. I think maybe, I don't know. It's very flat feeling. Maybe if we did like the inner scale, I guess. So like if we instead drew it from this angle instead of like face on. So like face on, but instead we should have done it like this or something so that you could see some depth because we just weren't able to capture the depth we wanted. Now I do feel like we did pretty decent on the lanyard actually. The lanyard is about the only part I feel like kind of came out okay, which was interesting because that's the part I was most concerned about. Um, the leather's maybe not as thick, but overall, like, I mean, the donut's a little lumpy, but I feel like it's kind of the best part. We didn't do the blade shape justice. We kind of ended up in a clip point hybrid. So that's not ideal. I think overall we kind of messed up. What do we think? I feel like we messed it up. It's a little frustrating. I feel like we did better on the first than this one. Oh, you know what? Let's put our little OEO on it. That matches where they have theirs, but I don't really like it actually. Let's do it more. Yeah, that's better. That's better for me. Okay. So, what did we learn here? We learned a little bit about shading theory, not enough. We learned that as much as it's easier to do that strategy for um, segmenting things, right? It's easier to just copy and paste. Um, it's safer because it allows me to do better checks for my shading to just go back and forth or be more careful and do it by hand. Um, like it's better long term to do it that way. The other way does work if you plan on leaving everything as like thick line art, but overall, I think it's better. Like I might as well just do it the way I've been doing it or do it the way I used to do it. I feel like that's the way we were doing it. I feel like is better than the way we used to do it, and the way we tried to do it is like a hybrid. I think this is a good lesson in that because I feel like the Ox manufacturing one really actually looks pretty damn nice if we hide the lart. I actually really like that. Like it looks like a real painting to me. Um so I feel like that's a good lesson learned from that front. It gives us like another aesthetic to explore. Shading wise, we learned a little bit about that color theory. I learned it from PCAT, and then Clown Misfit did help us with the same advice. Whether or not I'm pulling it off properly, probably not. But we have a general idea, a direction to go. The black and white stuff still seems to be dominant for me. Is it the best choice? Maybe not, but it is working for me. We kind of forgot to lighten this up. I feel like I should have lightened that up. It looks okay, but we should have lightened that up. We got to work better on our shading for depth, but I feel like this is gonna sound weird. I feel like the skulls, mostly the skulls, some extent the faces, actually really helped with the lanyard, and my like directional output. I have also been like drawing, shit on the side too, but nothing in particular. I did try boxes for a while. I don't feel like they helped me, but you know what? Maybe feeling like they didn't help me is what actually helped me. I don't really know. But examining things, I think things to address proportions. We had a lot of trouble with that at first. I feel like we were able to get this down better. Maybe that's because I'm more familiar with this than a face, I guess. Um, I get it in my hands. I use them all the time, right? I sharpen them. I probably shouldn't, but I sort of play with them, right? I just pull them out, put them back in, kind of, have them in my hand. It's just kind of satisfying. I flick them if they're folders, right? I flick them, I flip them, whatever, right? So I'm very familiar with it on a physical aspect as opposed to I see faces all the time. I watch anime all the time. They're not always the same size, right? Like first off, screen size is dependent, animators dependent, how close the camera is to a person's face is dependent, who the director is dependent, the angle is dependent, right? I mean, and that to some extent applies to a knife as well. We are drawing the easiest angle of a knife. Well, not really. The easiest angle of a knife is probably just a fucking like triangle. But we are drawing the relative easiest angle of a knife where we draw the whole knife. So we're kind of on easy mode compared to a head. There's a lot less going on. But it is good practice in getting longer strokes, right? Something I feel like I really, really struggle with is hair. And I actually think this and these lines might really help me with my hair stuff, right? This specifically might be really game changing for maybe like dreadlocks. I know this is square, but the other one was more rounded and tubular, and I feel like I captured those both really well somehow. And I think that will translate pretty nicely, especially the shading on this. I really like this actually. Maybe not so much up here. Maybe I should have done better here. But we deselect. Yeah, we definitely could have done a little better there. I think in the future, what I'll do, I have pictures of my knives. Oh man, but there's background to consider. Shit. Okay, hold on. Do I have any of them on this? I don't think they're on my phone, are they? No. Shoot, they're on my tablet because they're on my camera, which is only connected to the tablet. But I have pictures of my knives. They're usually either just on grass, maybe in the dirt, maybe in a tree trunk or something. Maybe I take those pictures and take the knife in hand and like I use that so that that's my light source. That's my position. Man, I don't know how to draw grass though. Shoot. We'll figure that out. I do think we overall, like, in terms of does this look like what I set out to do? Generally, yes. Is it great? No. But I think it's like, this is what it is. You can tell. And maybe the farthest thing off, like, I imagine the first complaint is, wait, you thought that color was this color? Right? Especially for the second one. Like, you thought that reddish orange, pinkish orange was orange orange? Like, what are you doing? So we got to work on our color theory. We've got to work on our shading theory. Our proportion is, if we're familiar with it, actually not that bad. So we got to work on our proportions, particularly for things that we're very unfamiliar with. I don't know. I'm gonna have to buy a fucking human head. I don't fucking know. Um, Man, proportions. We got to work on our line work. I feel like I devolve. I'll do like good lines on the sketch, then I'll have to like scratch, and then I'll do bad lines, and then I'll do bad lines for the lark because it's too long and I'm trying too hard, and so I devolve, and then I like do a couple of good lines, and then I devolve. It's like no consistency. I gotta work on my consistency. Um, I don't know, man. I feel like this shouldn't have taken me 3.5 hours to draw this shit, but it did. I will say these are the first two full color on stream works we've done, right? Well, we did do that Boker Plus one. I don't think that was full color. I know I have the frame drawing. That took me like 2 weeks, by the way. And that's full color. I was very careful with that. I didn't do it particularly well. That was compared to our original sketch of that. That was December 25th, I believe, is when we did the sketch, and then like March something is the full color. But we didn't do that on stream. That was stuff I worked on off stream at night for about anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour. Um, which is not good work. I suck. I suck. I'm not very good at this. It's this is hard. Uh like doing stuff like this has me concerned that I'm absolutely not going to be able to do that project that I want to do that we've talked about a little bit where we draw rice shower, and I don't know how I can possibly do it. I can't even fucking do the hair, man. I can't. Like, I can look at the image and I can get it kind of close, but it's just not good enough. I started drawing a picture of an anime. Well, it's a VTuber, because they have their model up and they have their art, and I have it ready. And I started it like 2 nights ago, and I haven't gone back to it because I was like, well, I'll come back to it. It'll be like my other thing. I'll work on it. And it like I started off so bad. I couldn't do the face at all. I couldn't get like the body. I gave up on the body. Only did like it's like a shoulder up thing. Like I couldn't do it. I ended up erasing the entire head and redoing it, and it doesn't look like the original. It just looks better as a head. Like I don't know how people do it, man. Like, it's fucking wizardry. It's so hard. I feel like it's also harder because I'm on my other tablet. It's easier to draw on that tablet if I'm very, very zoomed in because I can like change the angle of the image. But it's harder because I generally don't have a space to use it because this is usually here and my other stuff is over there. So it's like I usually rest it on my knees, and so I don't really have like a good how do I put this? A good stable place for it to be. All right. I feel like we did okay today. We're being harsh on ourselves because we basically have a June-ish deadline to get really solid so that we can ensure we do this project. Or I need to start it now, but when it's gonna be ass. Like we need to just start doing it and just do it over and over and hope that our final one is done in time and good enough, or we just forget about the deadline. I guess if we miss it, we'll still do it if we miss our self-imposed deadline. But it's gonna suck. Like, I don't want to give up on it, but it feels like we're not gonna make it. Like, I've hit a wall. I can't do hair. I can't do proportions. I can't do eyes still. Like, I thought this would help me with like cleaning up my lines, and you know what? It probably did. I took a break from drawing my heads and my skulls, but I don't know. It feels like maybe I shouldn't have. We got time. We can do this. Tomorrow we probably won't do an art stream, but I might work on something a little later tonight. Um, I'll probably actually try and get the time lapses for these. Maybe I'll upload one tomorrow and one Thursday or something, just because they're kind of cool. And we haven't done a time lapse in a while. They're not great time lapses though. Um, Man, what else can we do here? I feel like I might just get off for the night. It's a little earlier for a night stream. I usually go until like 11 my time or just before, like 10:50ish. It's 10:40, 10:35 actually, but I thought that's a 39. Sorry, my lamp is right next to where the time's right there. I'm an I'm an actual idiot. So I have a monitor over here. The lamp is right like next to the bottom corner of it because this is a 24-inch monitor, and like that monitor starts up here and is over there because I was going to put there's a lot of things I was going to put over there to the right, but it also doesn't really fit because this is a huge ass monitor, and this arm, despite saying it supports a 32-inch monitors, absolutely under no circumstance can support two 32-inch monitors unless they're fucking both flat and backwards. um I wanted it originally to be up top. I wanted them on top of each other, but it can't do it. Anyway, I think we call it for tonight. We did a morning stream, so we did get some skull or some head in. We did pretty bad on our last head. I was thinking about doing it tonight because I figured whatever I do Wednesday should be different. But I think we just back away from the heads and move to heads because I want to do hair. So I'm thinking either another hair project. Maybe we do this thing on screen just Wednesday. This like body project because I do need to work on bodies. But maybe we do this Wednesday or something else Wednesday. But we got to get back to eyes and hair because I'm just not there. And maybe I can find something for proportion. I don't know. Oh no, it stopped tracking me. Sorry. I'm moving my hands too much. I'm too nervous. All right, I think we call it. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your help. Thank you for being here. Thanks for chilling. I appreciate everyone. Thanks for everything. Um, I'm sorry we kind of failed. We're way behind this self-imposed schedule, but hey, we got to play with some cool knives. I almost just stabbed my finger. Um, but yeah, we're choking. We're choking. We're just not that guy. But hopefully, we continue to make some progress. Um, really got to work on color. Really got to work on straightening up our lines. Really got to work on proportions. Got to work on the flow of things. I actually feel like this flows okay, right? Because this kind of drops and it has that hanging feeling to me. But we got to work on it overall because the lighting and the shading, right? We got to work on that. And it just doesn't feel like it's right to me. There's just so much to go through. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna pick a picture. I mean, I already know like the two I'm going to work with here, but I don't know how to pick it and steal the colors out without just literally. I guess for those, at least I can copy paste the color. All right. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll hopefully have something to do Wednesday, and then maybe like a study, if you will. So eyes again or hair or something for uh Friday through Monday stuff. But thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully I can catch you in the next one, whenever that is. I appreciate you. Appreciate any help and all advice. I'm sorry if I don't take it all. I there's it's sometimes it's just it just doesn't help because I'm just not good enough. I don't maybe think like that, but it is appreciated even if I don't necessarily do it or can't do it. Um, so if you feel like waste your time telling me things, I apologize, but I promise I do read comments and stuff. I do try, even if I can't enact the change. But thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.